Okay, so let's proceed to Module 7C, solving a quadratic function, domain, range, intercepts, axis of symmetry, vertex, direction of the opening of the parabola. Okay, so let's proceed. So let's study. In a quadratic function, if the value of a is greater than 0, the parabola opens upward. Okay, so pag ang A daw doon sa this form or yung isa, yung y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. Kapag ito daw ay positive numbers, ang graph ay open upward. Kapag ano naman, ito rin ay tinatawag nating minimum point. So, ang minimum point, nandito siya. So, kung sa tutuusin, kung ang vertex point natin, which is the H, K, okay. So, ang minimum point natin ay ito. So, nasa K. Okay. So, if the parabola opens downward naman, pag ang A ay negative numbers. So, pag negative, ito yan. So, ito naman yung tinatawag nating maximum. Para ma-identify ang maximum, yung sa vertex, yung K. Okay? There is a line called the axis of symmetry. So, pag tinawag nating axis of symmetry, kung nasaan ang vertex, andoon ang axis of symmetry. So, ibig sabihin yan, para ma-identify ang axis of symmetry, yun naman yung H. Okay? So, yun. So, yung axis of symmetry, yan yung nagde-divide into two parts. So, for example, pag nagkalahati kayo ng one whole, for example, pa-lengthwise, di ba usually from end to end, tsaka nyo siya fino-fold ng maigi. So, yung point na yon, yun yung tinatawag ninyo nating axis of symmetry. Yung paghahatian mo. Okay? So, next, we have there, so the vertex points, yung HK, X is equal to H, so yung axis of symmetry, yun na nga yung sinabi ko kanina, and K is the minimum or the maximum of the quadratic function. So the domain of a quadratic function is the set of all real numbers. So pag domain, all real numbers. Yan. So maintindihan din natin later on. So the range depends on whether the parabola opens upward or open downward. If it opens upward, the range sets so like this. If the opens downward, so yung graph, ito naman yung ano natin. So observe, dito, pag nag-open upward, all possible values of y are the positive. So it's greater than k. So kung ano yung number ng k, so mas mataas doon. Kung open upward. Pag open downward naman, yung possible set ay yung from k pababa. So yung less than k. So yung mas mababa naman sa k. So we have the concepts of properties of quadratic functions. So the domain, range, intercept, vertex, minimum and maximum value, axis of symmetry, the direction of the opening of the parabola. So I have here one example only. So first, we're going to determine the intercepts. So the easiest first is x is equal to 0. So when x is equal to 0, so substitute to 0, 0. So the remaining is 12. So for y-intercept, that is 0, negative 12. For y-intercept yan. So ang second, yung x-intercept naman, so let y is equal to 0. So ayan. So first, factor natin ito. So ito siya. Then solve for x. So x minus 6 is equal to 0 and x plus 2 is equal to 0. So solve for x now. So x is equal to 6. This is negative, so it will become positive 6. And this one, x is equal to negative 2. So here in x-intercept, so we have two possible intercept. So we have there the 6, 0, and negative 2, 0. So ito yung tinatawag nating x-intercepts. Okay? Understood? So dito lang naman ang medyo complicated sa part, yung magfa-factor ka nito, if factorable naman. Okay? So next, so determine the vertex. If you still remember the formula in finding the vertex, yung h is equal to, then yung k is equal to, ito siya. So formula natin. Okay, so identify the value of a, b, and c. So a is 1, b is negative 4, and c is negative 12. So here is for the value of h to find the vertex. So h is negative b all over 2a. So substitute nyo siya. Then simplify, negative times negative 4 is positive 4. Then 2 times 1 is 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. For k naman, if a is 1, b is negative, or c is negative 12, then b is negative 4. So this one over 4 times a, which is 1. Simplify. 4 times 1 times negative 12 is equal to negative 48. And this is negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16 times negative, so negative 16. So 4 times 1 is equal to 4. So simplify ito. Negative 48 minus 16 is negative 64. Then divided by 4, the answer is negative 16. So k is equal to negative 16. So yung h is for axis of symmetry. And for k, ito naman yung tinatawag nating minimum or the maximum point. So later on, makikita natin yan. So the vertex natin is 2, negative 16. So ito yung x, ito yung y. Okay? So we have now the equation of the axis of symmetry. So that is, using this one, so ito ay h yung kanina, right? So, yun din naman ang sagot natin, x is equal to 2. So, x is equal to 2, the axis of symmetry. For opening of the graph, since here is a is greater than 1, so positive number opens upward. Okay? So here, state whether the vertex is a minimum or a maximum point. So y is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 12. Okay, so using yung formula ng pagkuha ng vertex doon sa k, or rather dito, so minimum point. Bakit siya nasa may minimum point? Kasi kung tutuusin, ang y natin ay, okay, bakit siya minimum point? Kasi ang graph natin rather ay opens upward. So ito yung minimum point natin. Okay, identify natin yung maximum or minimum value. So, dito, same kanina, ito ay k. So, here, ang k natin, so ito yung formula. Ang nakuha natin dito kanina is, yes, negative 16. So, ang minimum value natin ay negative 16. Bakit siya minimum? Kasi ang graph natin ay opens upward. Ito ay minimum. Pag maximum yan, open downward. Okay? So, follow. So, I hope, yes. And for domain, y is equal to x squared dito. So, observe, ang domain, so, all set of real numbers. So, the negative and the positive. Bakit? Kasi ang graph natin ay open upward, or kung open downward man, yung passes ng mga points doon sa rectangular coordinate system, tatamaan lahat ng numbers. So, positive and negative. So, always, ayan, as long as nasa quadratic functions tayo. So, dito lang sa range ang may kaibahan. So, the graph is opening or opens upward, right? So, here, ang k natin ay negative 16. So, ibig sabihin, ang negative 16 ay hindi siya kasama. So, not included. So, ito siya. So, from negative 16 to positive infinity values of y. So, ito tukoy dito ay yung y. Kung ito yung x-axis, ito yung y-axis. So, lahat yan. So, from negative 16, pataas yan. All, ayan, lahat yan numbers 3. Okay, kaya ganun siya. Understood? So, I hope may naintindihan kayo doon sa domain and range natin. So, ito lang naman ang mahalaga yung dapat maunawaan. So, ang domain, so ang range, yung intercept. So, x is 0, y is 0. So, yung vertex point natin, gamit lang kayo ng formula. Ito ang gagamitin formula. This one. And this one. Okay, so yung h, yan yung, okay, so, itong h, ito yung tinatawag nating, yes, the axis of symmetry. Saka ito naman k, ito naman yung tinatawag nating, yes, the minimum or maximum point. Okay, so understood? So I hope you learned something about our topic for today. So see you in the next module.